Good morning, everyone. So, starting with the technical outlook. So, trend in the market is still bullish. However, looking at the candle formation which occurred on Friday, we can expect a running correction from the current levels. So, after a gap down opening on Friday, there was an attempt to bounce back in both the indices. However, both of them faced some selling pressure from the higher levels and closed near their respective day lows, forming bearish candle on the daily chart. As per the derivatives data too, strong call writing can be seen at the higher levels, precisely at 18,200 and 43,500 levels respectively in Nifty and Bank Nifty. Both technical as well as derivatives data indicate a minor correction from the current levels. In case of Nifty, 17,800 seems to be an important support on the downside, while Bank Nifty is expected to trade within a broader range from 43,500 acting as a resistance to 41,800 acting as a support. Talking about sectors, PSU banks, metal, and IT are the sectors which can create some pressure on the market in the upcoming week. Nifty Metal has formed a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern on its daily chart, while Nifty IT has filled the gap which was formed on 23rd April, which may bring a slight halt to the bounce back in the last few days. On the positive side, realty sector looks good to bet on, while FMCG stocks also should provide some support to the market. Some stocks to watch out for are the paint stocks, precisely Asian Paints, Pidilite, Berger Paints. Escorts can be one stock to watch out for on the positive side, as well as Ultratech Cement. As per the futures data, long buildup can be seen in MRF, Astral, and IEX, while short buildup can be seen in Federal Bank, Dabur, and HDFC Limited. So this was all from my side. Now handing it over to Vishal sir.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Good morning, team. So to start off with being a result season, so first Britannia Industries, a positive set of result. Company has reported revenue was up by 13% and EBITDA was up strongly. So overall, I think if you look at EBITDA margin bottoming out has been, which has been a buzzword because commodity prices has been weakening. So that is getting visible at least in Britannia Industries, and overall revenue growth is pretty strong. So positive set of comment. And if you look at PAT level, it is up by a good 47% YoY. If you look at Marico, then it's a neutral set of number. Revenue was largely it was flattish. If you look at vis-a-vis Britannia, which has done a 13% kind of revenue growth, EBITDA was up by 14% as there has been an improvement in margin. But the street estimate in Marico was like the margin improvement will be better, but so that same thing has not panned out. Next is on Paytm. So Paytm has reported a positive set of result vis-a-vis what the street was expecting. Though that EBITDA level or even net PAT level, net at the bottom line level, so company is still reporting a losses. But what we are seeing is there has been a contraction in the losses which has been there for the Q3 or even the same period last year. Revenue growth for Paytm was up 13% on one-year basis, and the losses which are continuing to go down, that will bode well for the stock and the company as such. Next is on Equitas, a small finance bank, so positive set of result. NII was up by 28% YoY basis, and if you look at PAT, it was up by strongly at around 59-60 odd percent. Asset quality was quite heartening to see, the company net NPA has reduced by 60 basis point to 1.21%, and the company board had also declared a dividend of ₹1 per share. So overall, positive set of results from Equitas small finance bank. Next is on DCB. So again, a positive set of result. So all in all, and if you can see that banking counters, whether you talk about large cap to mid and small, so everyone has reported a pretty strong set of numbers, and the same thing is seen even in the DCB. Net interest income was up by 28% on YoY basis, and PAT was up by 25%. Asset quality, again, there has been an improvement, and with the net NPA at around 1.04, which is lower by roughly 33-35 basis point lower. And in terms of dividend, so company has declared a dividend of 1.25. Next is on Ajanta Pharma, negative set of results. So I think if you look at pharma counters, they are not that positive in terms of when it comes to result, because the same thing is seen in Ajanta. Revenue was largely flattish, but EBITDA was down by 28% on Y&Y basis. The EBITDA margin contraction is seen. So there was expectation like company will report probably a good set of EBITDA margin. The same thing is not panned out, and even at the PAT level, the PAT is down by around 19% on Y&Y basis. I mean, pharma definitely the result is still not coming that strongly, because if you look at in terms of sector, the stock performance has been pretty muted, but so has been their results. So I think it could take probably a quarter or two. I mean, when we start seeing the improvement numbers, and the same thing would get reflected in terms of stock prices. Next is on in terms of Gen Technology. They have reported pretty strong set of numbers. Revenue was up by almost like 242 percentage point increase they have seen. EBITDA is almost up by 6%, and as there is an improvement in EBITDA margin, and PAT is almost doubled. So positive set of result from Gen Technology. Then next, in terms of news flow, so Aditya Birla Fashion has reported that they have signed a definite agreement to acquire 51% stake in TCNS. So if you look at from TCNS point of view, the acquisition is at around 503 vis-a-vis the stock prices, which is already trading at premium to that. So in terms of probably, I mean, in terms of stock positive set of stock reaction, we could see in Aditya Birla Fashion vis-a-vis TCNS, as the price of TCNS is already higher than vis-a-vis the open offer price of Aditya Birla Fashion. Next from my side is on Manappuram Finance. The stock has been weak from quite some days, and board has even they have done a con call, and they have noted that the action against VP Nandkumar, which is a promoter as well as MD and CEO of a company, has nothing to do with the company, and will not have a financial position, will not have a material impact on the financial and operations. So I think this is one. I think the company is denying a lot of ED searches and a lot of things which is happening. And as of now, I think it's definitely is becoming a little tricky, like in how exactly the situation is panning out. So probably we need to wait and watch at least in this particular counter. Next is on DCB. So DCB, if you look at the CFO has resigned, which is probably you will see it's sentimentally negative, because a company has already identified Mr. Ravi Kumar as the officer in charge, and who will take over from the existing CFO, Mr. Satish. So yeah, that's all from my side, and I'll hand it over to team now. Over to you.
Morning, everyone. Few more news updates from my end. So, from the economy point of view, the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will review the state of economy and amid global and domestic challenge at the meeting of the Financial Stability and Development Council on Monday. This is the 27th meeting of the high-level panel to be held. This will be attended by all the financial sector regulators, including the RBI Governor Shaktikant Das. So the meeting review, it will be more for the current global and domestic economic situation of the financiality, which includes the banking and NBFC, and also some talks about the Silicon Valley Bank and the Signature Bank, which we saw over the last week. Next is on BEML. The government may soon invite the financial bids for the strategic sale of defense BEML after its non-core business got listed in the last month. In Jan 2021, the government has invited the primary bid for selling 26% stake in BEML along with the management control. So it has received multiple expressions of interest for the sale. Next is on Lupin. The company has entered into a definitive agreement to acquire the entire share capital of French pharmaceutical company Medicel. This is again subject to the approval from the French Ministry of Economy and Finance. Next is on Sun Pharma. So Sun Pharma is recalling its pre-filled syringe of drug, which is used to treat infertility in women. This is basically the US market. So according to the US health regulator, the New Jersey-based pharmaceutical unit of the which is the unit of the Sun Pharma has already announced the recall of 16,450 units of the syringe, and and additional to this, the US FDA is also recalling almost 24,000 bottles of to treat the high blood pressure. So this can be a little bit negative news for the Sun Pharma. In the auto sector, the Skoda Auto has said India will become an export hub for the company as it is set to commence exports of vehicle kits for assembly in Vietnam from next year. So auto business of Skoda India, similarly the Volkswagen Group, the sales has grew by 85.48% year on year in the previous calendar year. Next is on Adani Group. So today on Monday, there can be some amount of selling in the Adani Group. So this triggers followed by the triggers in the FIR and the FPIs. So this selling is expected after the MSCI decision to lower the free float in this two Adani Group stock. So Adani Total Gas and Adani Transmission. The experts say that said that FIS and FPS who invested in index fund uh, following the MSCI, and they are expected to bring down the exposure in this two Adani shares on the basis of MSCI index review. So there can be some sell-off seen in Adani Total Gas and Adani Transmission. The Coal India's declares number, the profit after tax for the Coal India has grew by 62% from rupees 17,378 crores in FY22 to rupees 28,125 crores. The PAT has grown by 61%, recording the numbers of 17,464 crores, which was set in 2018-19. So the higher volume sales and increasing premium in e-auction bolsters the company's profitability. So during Q4 FY23, the company has reported a net profit of 5,527.62 crores as compared to 6,715 crores during the quarter 4 FY22. So which is a 18% drop year on year. So Vedanta, the promoter, is about it's like to cut its stake in the company during the March quarter without reporting the change to the exchange. The promoters considering about inadequate disclosures. Vedanta Netherlands Investments Fee, the promoters group entity, has cut its stake in Vedanta to 0.13% as of March 31st from 1.71% as of December end, resulting in a decline in promoters group stake to 68.11 from 69.69% at the end of the December quarter. Next is on Union Bank. Union Bank of India has registered strong double-digit growth in the fourth quarter of FY23. The PAT has jumped by 61.18% year on year and 23.95% quarter on quarter. The bank has witnessed strong growth in terms of advances and deposit year on year, while a sharp decline has been seen in gross NPA. Interest net interest margin has expanded further. So Union Bank's PAT was at rupees 1,440 crores in Q4 FY22 and 2,245 crores in Q3 FY23. However, the NII came in at 8,251 crores in Q4 FY23, which has been raised by 17.92%. Further, this PNC Infra, it has been an order worth 771.46 crores. Thermex has been the order book of 271 crores from the India's biggest refinery for mechanical balance of plant. So I think that's all from my end. I'll hand over to Hitendra for more Hindi updates. Thank you.
थैंक यू सर, गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। हम कॉल तो एग्जैक्ट हिंदी में कर लेते, स्टार्ट करते हैं ब्रिटानिया के। ब्रिटानिया के नंबर थे कि एक्सपेक्टेशन से अच्छे थे, बेसिकली जो मार्जिन में इंप्रूवमेंट हुआ बहुत ही अच्छा था, क्योंकि रिसेंट जो कि रॉ मटेरियल प्राइसिंग का जो इनको प्रेशर आ रहा था वहाँ से ईज ऑफ आते हैं। देखो तो एबिटा मार्जिन जो कि 15.5 से बढ़ के 20% के आसपास पहुंच गया है। एबिटा अगर देखा जाए तो 46% ऊपर है, 800 करोड़ के आसपास। टॉप लाइन देखी जाए तो 13% ऊपर है, 4023 करोड़ के आसपास का। नेट प्रॉफिट देखा जाए 47% नीचे आ रहा है, जो कि 558 करोड़ का है। मैरी को अगर देखेंगे तो रिजल्ट्स न्यूट्रल है। इसमें हमें भी एक्सपेक्टेशंस थी कि अगर एबिटा मार्जिन में थोड़ा सा इंप्रूवमेंट आएगा, बट एबिटा मार्जिन फ्लैटिश था, 17.5 पे था, जो कि पहले 16% पे था। और बट एबिटा अगर देखा जाए नंबर पे तो 14% आया था, 400 करोड़ के आसपास का। रेवेन्यू देखा जाए तो 4% ऊपर है, 2240 करोड़ है। और नेट प्रॉफिट देखा जाए तो 20% ऊपर है, जो कि 302 करोड़ का है। ईटीएन के रिजल्ट देखे जाए तो रेवेन्यू 13% हायर है, जो कि 2334 करोड़ का है। बट एबिटा का जो लॉस है वो उन्हें नैरो करते गए, जो पहले इनका 330 करोड़ का लॉस है उससे वो कम करके 129 करोड़ कर गए। और जो नेट लॉस है जो कि पहले 392 करोड़ का था, उसे नेट कम करके 170 करोड़ से धीरे धीरे ये लॉसेस अपने कम करते जा रहे हैं, नैरो करते जा रहे हैं। सो ओवरऑल एक सेंटिमेंटली पॉजिटिव, बट हम अभी भी इसे अवॉइड करें। इक्विटा स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक के नतीजे देखेंगे, नेट इंटरेस्ट इनकम देखा 28% ऊपर था, जो कि 707 करोड़ का है। नेट प्रॉफिट देखा जाए तो जंप देखा जाए तो 59%, जो कि 190 करोड़ का है। जी ग्रॉस एनपीए देखा जाए तो 3.63 से गिर के 2.76 पे आ गए। और नेट एनपीए देखा जाए तो 1.82 से कम हो गया 1.21 पे आ गया। बोर्ड ने 1 रुपए के डिविडेंड भी डिक्लेयर किया है। बीसीबी बैंक के भी नतीजे देखे गए, अगर नेट इंटरेस्ट इनकम देखा जाए तो 28% के आसपास का, जो कि 406 करोड़ का है। नेट प्रॉफिट देखा जाए तो 26% के आसपास का, जो कि 142 करोड़ का। ग्रॉस एनपीए जो मेन इशू को देखा जाए तो 3.62 से कम होकर 3.19 पे आ गया है। और नेट एनपीए देखा जाए तो 1.37 से कम होकर 1.04 पे आ गया है। बोर्ड ने भी 1 रुपये 25 पैसा का डिविडेंड डिक्लेयर किया है। अजंता फार्मा के भी नतीजे देखेंगे, रेवेन्यू फ्लैटिश ही था 1.5% के आसपास का। एबिटा देखा जाए तो 28% का शॉर्टफॉल देखा गया, जो कि 150 करोड़ का है। एबिटा मार्जिन में भी गिरावट आते हुए देखी, जो कि 24% से गिर के 17% पे आ गए। और प्रॉफिट में भी गिरावट आते हुए देखी, जो कि 19.5% पे 122 करोड़ का था। जेन टेक्नोलॉजीज के भी नतीजे देखे गए। नतीजे अगर हम देख रहे हैं तो रेवेन्यू जो देखा जाए तो 250% ऊपर है, जो कि 28 करोड़ से बढ़ के 96 करोड़ हो गए। एबिटा 630% का जंप आ रहा है, जो कि 5 करोड़ से बढ़ के 35 करोड़ तक चला गया। और एबिटा मार्जिन में भी बहुत अच्छी इंप्रूवमेंट देखी, जो कि 17% से बढ़ के 37% का है। जेन टेक्नोलॉजी बेसिकली एक डिफेंस बेस्ड कंपनी है, सो उसमें भी हम ध्यान रख सकते हैं। पैट देखा जाए तो 96% ऊपर है, जो कि 24 करोड़ का है, जो कि 12 करोड़ के आसपास का है। डीसीबी बैंक के लिए थोड़ी सी सेंटिमेंटली नेगेटिव है। इनकी जो सीएफओ है मिस्टर सतीश गुंडेवर, उन्होंने एक रेजिग्नेशन टेंडर किया है, जो कि अपना करियर परस्यू करना चाहते हैं बैंक के बाहर। उसके रह गए अगले कुछ वीक्स में उन्होंने जो नए सीएफओ में आइडेंटिफाई जो मिस्टर रवि कुमार है, जो कि इंचार्ज दे सकते हैं जून 4 से। आदित्य बिरला फैशन और टीसीएनएस को टेक ओवर करेगा, उसमें 51% अपनी होल्डिंग एक्वायर करेंगे एट द रेट 1650 करोड़ के डील के लिए। और कंपनी ने अपना जो एक्वाइजेशन है 22% से बढ़ा के 30% कर दिया है। जो टीसीएनएस प्रमोटर्स को 29% स्टेक है, वो ओपन ऑफर चलेंगे 503 करोड़ शेयर के लिए। मनप्पुरम फाइनेंस के जो बोर्ड की जो मीटिंग हुई थी, उन्होंने कॉल किया था, जो कि रिगार्डिंग जो ईडी की जो सेंटिमेंट नेगेटिव थी, तो कंपनी ने कहा कि जो ऐसा मनप्पुरम फाइनेंस कंपनी को कोई इशू नहीं, उनके जो एमडी एंड सीईओ उनके लिए सारा ये है। और इससे वो इम्पैक्ट या उनका जो इम्पैक्ट है फाइनेंशियल पोजिशन पे नहीं आएगा और ऑपरेशन पे भी नहीं आएगा। मनप्पुरम ये क्लैरिफिकेशन हमने किया गया। नेक्स्ट अपडेट्स हम देखेंगे इकोनॉमी की। जो निर्मला सीतारमण ने कहा कि जो फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी जो एफडीएससी की मंडे मीट होने वाली है, और इसके लिए वो बैंकिंग की स्टेबिलिटी देखेंगे, जो कि सिलिकॉन वैली जो कि बैंक के 3 फेल हो गई यूएस में, जो कि सिलिकॉन वैली बैंक, सिग्नेचर बैंक और क्रेडिट ऐसे कुछ हमारे बैंकिंग सिस्टम में है, तो उसके लिए वो टेस्ट करना चाहेंगे। बीएमएल ने कहा कि गवर्नमेंट एक फाइनेंशियल बर्ड इशू करेगा डिफेंस बीएमएल को, जिससे वो उससे 26% का स्टेक है बीएमएल में मैनेजमेंट कंट्रोल के साथ लेगी। और ईओएस के लिए भी एक्सपेक्ट करेंगे अक्टूबर लास्ट ईयर के लिए। बीएमएल डीमर्ज अपने नॉन कोर प्रोसेस होगी, जो कि बीएमएल लैंड असेंबली की नई लिस्टिंग हो चुकी है 19 अप्रैल को। विपिन ने कहा कि उन्होंने एक डेफिनेटिव एग्रीमेंट एक्वायर किया है फिनिश फार्मास्यूटिकल कंपनी मेडिसन के साथ, जो कि अप्रूवल है फ्रिज मिनिस्ट्री से। सन फार्मा ने कहा कि उन्होंने एक रिकॉल किया पेफल सिरिंजेस ड्रग जो यूज होता है इनफर्टिलिटी, जो कि वुमेन्स में रहता है, वुमेन में और यूएस मार्केट में भी इशू किया गया है। और इससे न्यू जर्सी ये जो इनका प्लांट है वहाँ से उन्होंने 16,500 वाइल्स निकाल वाइल्स का उन्होंने प्रोडक्शन किया था नोरिफिन बैटरेट के लिए, जो कि इंडस्ट्रियल फील्ड इम्प्योरिटी टेस्ट के लिए रिकॉल किया गया है। अडानी ग्रुप के स्टॉक्स में थोड़ी सी सेलिंग आते हुए दिख सकती है। अडानी टोटल गैस, अडानी का ट्रांसमिशन, जो कि बेसिकली एनएसआई ने जैसे पहले भी कहा था उसमें वेटेज कम कर रहे हैं और वेटेज को उन्होंने डेट अभी डिक्लेयर कर दिया, तो इस सब स्टॉक्स में एफआईपीएस की सेलिंग आते हुए हमें दिख सकती है। सो इसमें शार्प सेल ऑफ भी आते हुए दिख सकता है मार्केट्स में, इन दोनों स्टॉक्स में सर। वेदांता ने कहा कि इनकी जो प्रमोटर ग्रुप एंटिटी है उन्होंने मार्च क्वार्टर में जो स्टॉक एक्सचेंज से वेदांता नीदरलैंड जो बीवी एंटिटी है उन्होंने इसमें से अपना स्टेक थोड़ा सा सेल किया है एज ए 31 मार्च, और इसमें से डिक्लाइन जो प्रमोटर ग्रुप है 68% पे आ गया, जो करेंगे 69% पे था। सो दैट्स इट फ्रॉम माय एंड, थैंक यू एंड फॉर द मॉर्निंग कॉल, यू मे नाउ डिस्कनेक्ट।